Hi everyone, my name is Grace Cisna. I'm the CPA on staff with ProjectionHub, and today I wanted to take a little time to walk you through our landlord or rental company template. The first thing you'll see when you download the template is the instructions page here. And let's jump right into the input assumptions template. So on this template, you're going to see several features that are available throughout the template. The input items are shown in this light blue color here. So these items are areas where we're directing you to input your own information as applicable to your business. You'll see that there is sample data already in many of these blue areas, and this is just to direct you to what type of data we're looking for. It's not necessarily industry standards. It's just kind of showing you what information we would need in order to create the financial statements for you. Now you'll see that there are several tabs in this light blue color as well. These are the input tabs. In this case, there are 4 of them. So on these tabs, you will input your business data. And then here on the green tabs, your financial data will be output, some graphs and charts, and then in your financial statements as well. So this Excel template is going to help you develop 3 different types of financial statements: the income statement summary, the cash flow summary, and the balance sheet summary. And it's going to show those in annual and monthly format. So all you need to do is input the data on these input tabs, and the financial statements will be created for you. So it's going to save you a lot of time and effort there. You don't have to know how to create financial statements. It's going to do it all for you. So let's jump back to the input assumptions tab and talk about the kind of information we need to gather here. So on this tab, we're looking for company name, projection start month, inflation rate for your operating expenses. So those could go up every year at a certain rate if you enter something here. We're going to look for funds from investors. And then in addition to funds from investors, at the bottom, we've got funds from up to 4 different loans. And those would be general business loans there. And then accounts receivable terms are defined here, and that's a balance sheet item there. And then the big category here for our landlord or rental companies would be the fixed assets. So the different properties and equipment that you're purchasing to rent out. So we allow you to define up to 6 categories of fixed assets. And then you can list fixed assets here in this box, put them in your category. You can enter a purchase price, a life expectancy, which helps us calculate depreciation. Salvage cost, again, helps us calculate depreciation. A purchase month. And then in this as well, you're able to enter financing for that specific asset for each building or equipment or whatever it is that you enter here. You can enter the amount financed, the rate, and then the number of monthly payments. And that will put those loans automatically on your balance sheet for you, so you don't have to figure out each loan individually, but you put them here. Okay, taking a look at the input revenue and cost of revenue tab here. So all of these properties are pulled from the list on the input assumptions tab where you inputted your properties here. They are pulled over along with their category and their purchase month. And then on this tab, we're going to have you enter some new assumptions. So the first month of the rental, I'm going to see here that, for example, this property improvement number 2 was purchased in month 5. And then entering here that the first month of rental is month 7, so it takes you a couple months to get everything up and running, or to find new renters, whatever that may be. You can enter a first month of rental. You can enter the number of units in that property, the average rent per unit, and then it will calculate your monthly revenue based on the number of units and average rent per unit. And then you can enter all sorts of per unit assumptions, such as utility costs, property manager, maintenance costs, property taxes, and other costs for that whole unit. So that we can get the total cost per month for that unit. In this tab, you'll also enter the annual increase in rent amount, so that's for your revenue, and then the annual increase in expenses, that is for all of these expenses listed here. Below this, we have a big calculation table that shows you when each property comes online as far as first month of rent. So remember, property improvements number 2, we said we started renting in month 7, so that's our first month of revenue. And so the rent is going to come on board for all these properties as they are purchased and become available to rent. And then beneath the rental revenue, we have all of the operating expenses here. And then we've just got some summaries at the bottom. The next tab is the Input Other Expenses tab. And this is for expenses that are not tied to a specific unit. So things like advertising for the whole rental company. Maybe you have rent for a rental office if you don't own your rental office. Any insurance, maintenance, whatever it may be, you can put those on here. And you can calculate those expenses on a per unit basis. So that's going to be if you've got an apartment building with 10 units, those would count as 10 units. You could do in a per building basis, so that apartment building with 10 units would then count as just 1 unit, as a 1 building there. Or a fixed amount here. So for example, advertising is going to be $2,000 a month no matter what. Insurance, liability insurance here is going to be per apartment unit, $100 per month. This one will be per building, and then maintenance is going to be $500 no matter what. All of these are monthly amounts here, even when they're listed in the annual format. So it gives you month 1, month 2, and month 3 separately for any startup expenses that you may have. And then months 4 through 12 are here. Note it's still going to be $2,000 per month in months 4 through 12. And then year 2, it'll be $2,060 per month for every month in year 2. The input salaries and owner draw section is for inputting salaries, and then owner draw is what you do if you're just pulling money out of the business as the owner. So salaries could be things like managers that are not paid on a per property or hourly basis. You would enter them in here, and then if you, the owner, plan to draw cash out of the business to pay yourself, you would enter that amount here. Once you have all those input assumptions, input revenue, input other expenses, all those input tabs filled out, we will jump over to the green tabs. You don't need to fill out anything on the green tabs. These are just the output based on the information that you put in. So it's going to show some graphs and charts, some at-a-glance items and key ratios. And then the income statement summary, which shows your income. Your cash flow summary, which is going to show your cash flows for 5 years. Balance sheet summary. So the balance sheet is going to show your assets in those categories that you defined on the first tab. You're going to have loans, and that is the sum of all of your loans based on the different properties that you purchased and the financing that you use for those properties. And then any paid-in capital, that's initial investments put into the business, and then retained earnings there as well. And then we have those same financial statements just broken out into the month-by-month format. And I have a lot of questions about if I'm providing these to my bank, what do I give them? And I often recommend you show them the input revenue and cost of revenue tab. This is kind of your revenue plan, how you plan to earn revenue. So it's going to show the properties that you would like to own, what you'll rent them for, when you're going to bring them on. And then the income statement summary is a good one to show as well, just showing your net income for a couple of years. And in the case of a rental company, I would also show the cash flow summary, showing that your cash at the end of the period is going to remain positive, especially when you're in a business that requires large cash outflows to purchase new properties. You want to show that your business is generating enough cash to keep growing the business in that way. So that is what I would show to the bank. And you can always show them anything they ask for as well. So that is a brief summary of our landlord and rental company template. Note, we are available to customize this template or fill it out for you. So if it looks great, but you need a couple things changed, please feel free to reach out. I'm usually the one doing those modifications for you. So you'll be talking to me directly. I'm also the person who created this template. So if you've got questions, please feel free to reach out at support@ProjectionHub.com, or you can click on this button once you get the template downloaded, and that'll take you right to us. So you can ask questions, or we could fill it out for you, whatever you need. We're happy to provide those services. So just let us know how we can help. And I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of our landlord or rental company template.